And our guest will be Auntie Ami. She's a marriage and sexologist. So that's our topic for today. My name is Glabuatima, and the seaside professional activist and your host for Live Chats with Weinglo Family International. Trust me, today is going to be very interesting and very exciting and educative as well. Long distance relationship over the years has proven to be an issue that its success rate hasn't been quite encouraging. Most people end up losing their relationship because of distance. Most people end up breaking up. So today we want to talk about it and see how best we can handle it. How best we can. I guess Auntie Ami, that's her name on Instagram, so that you can get to follow her. We're adding her soon, and then we can get started. But hey, keep questions coming. Share, tell the friends that we are online, we are starting. They should come on and let's have a very great and educative chat that will help their relationship, especially those doing long distance relationship. Yeah. So we are adding Antami very soon so that we can get started. Hello, Sada. Hello, Antami. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good
Good evening.
evening.
Good evening. Oh, sorry for the lateness. So
Oh,
we
no
are so
problem.
sorry. Circumstances beyond our control, but it won't happen again. Antami, you're welcome to live chats with Weinglo Family International.
Thank
And
you.
yes, it's your second time. You're going to really nail it again for us. We are talking about long distance relationship. Most
Yes.
people go into long distance relationship and sometimes they end up breaking up, they end up losing the relationship, they end up getting fed up with the fact that the person is not around and all that. So today we want to look at it, how best it can be handled and how they should deal with it. So first of all, we want to say that you're welcome, and then we start
Thank you.
the program. So
Okay.
answer me. So, under which circumstance will you consider a relationship to be a long distance relationship?
Okay, my sweetheart. When we talk of a long distance relationship, we are talking of the kind of relationship that the people involved find themselves at different geographical locations.
Okay.
I don't lay emphasis so much on the distance, but I lay emphasis on the physical aspect of it. You see, they don't have physical contact. They are separated by geographical location. That
Okay.
is my definition of a long distance relationship. I say
Okay.
this because uh, someone can be living at Medina and the partner at Adenta, but for a year they might not be meeting. Another
Okay.
group of people can be living, one person in Accra, another at Tamale, but they meet often. So I don't actually lay emphasis on the distance, but
Okay.
how often they meet. You see, that makes the relationship a long distance relationship.
Oh, okay. So it is. So is it the how far or the how short? Sometimes it still can be a long distance. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'll base it on how often they see themselves. You get it? If they are apart, but they see themselves often, well, we can say it's a long distance relationship. Okay,
Long but short.
you get it.
Okay, okay. So distance makes the heart grow fonder. How true is this saying?
Very true. Very true. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. You see, when you are far, the anticipation, the zeal, the anxiety, you see, it makes the love grow. You will be there thinking of what is happening. You see, when you are with your partner, and then you are with him, you are with her always. There are certain things he does, you see it often, and then it becomes something else. Do you get it?
Yeah.
You get accustomed to a lot of things she does. But when the person is apart, you are always thinking of something new. You are
Yeah.
always anticipating. You always want to see what will happen that you are not seeing. So it adds some spice to it. So you see that all the time you have this butterfly feeling in your tummy, longing to see the person
Person.
deal, that erotic feeling. It makes the heart grow fonder.
Wow. That's very true. That's very true. So
Yes.
Atami, what are the things that will make such relationships stand the rest of time?
Okay. You see, when we talk of relationship, we have three phases. We have the first phase where the proposal comes. I call that the most romantic phase, where the proposal comes and you accept the proposal. It's like you are on a honeymoon, you see.
Yeah.
Everything is so nice. From there, you graduate to the phase two, where I call the complicated stage, where you begin to identify the flaws in your partner, where you decide whether you are staying or leaving. If you are able to break that jinx, then you go to the final stage where you are prepared to accept the person. You are prepared to adapt. Do you get it? So
Yeah.
when you pass through these phases and then you move on to the acceptance stage, that stage, no matter what you are in, no matter what you are in. So when you get to that stage, sometimes it's not your making. We are talking of what the person, like what you do for the long distance relationship to
Yeah.
stay. Now you've accepted. When we are talking of this long distance relationship, we can have two forms. We have the one that yourself, you've never met the person, you've never met. You get it? And we have the other one that you've met, but due to work, due to unforeseen circumstances, you have to be separated. For the first one that you've never met, it's quite dicey. You get it? Sometimes when
Yeah.
you know your partner does this, and then he's no more doing it for you, it becomes something else. And then on the other hand, you have never met a person. You don't know how the person looks like. You don't know the person's likes. You don't know the person's
Just
interests.
like yeah.
How the person walks, how the person talks. You see, there are a lot of things you have to learn. Let's take the one that you have never met and see how you try our best to make it work. I've met you, maybe we met online. We've never met. I don't know you, you don't know me. This is the time to put the spice and then anticipate and hope it will get better. Because one day we'll meet. What are some of the things we can do? We now have social media. Of course, I would see your pictures. You would see mine. The physical attraction will draw us together. Now we have to build the emotional attachment. And how do you build this emotional attachment with someone that you've never seen? You get it? One, trust. I've not seen you. I don't know how you are physically. I've only seen pictures. You can see someone's picture, but when you see the person physically, I don't want to say you'll be disappointed, but the imagery you created might be different. But you have to be positive. You have to be positive and then understand and accept the person the way he or she is. So acceptance. No matter what, I'm going to accept you. And so whether we've met or we've not met, when I meet you, I'm going to accept you. Now we are well apart. What do I do to maintain that erotic love? We can be watching movies together online. You get it? We can both plan an assignment. We do the assignment together to build mutual love. When we do things that is of interest to both of us, it brings us, it bonds us. What are some of the things? Sometimes I once was someone who used to travel a lot. Sometimes we plan a dinner together. You prepare your food, I prepare mine, and then we do video conference dinner, and it's so nice. Trust me.
Wow.
You get it? What are you eating? How is the salt? You see, are you full? Can you have a glass of wine? Can you give me some? We do our cheers, we talk, we laugh. You see, when you are doing all these things, it builds
Yeah.
you and then it gives you that flavor of love. You get it? Then you can be chatting, chatting. You see, I always say, be a prostitute for your partner. I always say this. And every couple that I counsel, I tell them, being a prostitute for your husband is proverbial. You get it? Talk dirty. Dirty talk. Dirty talk. What are some kind of, I want you to give me some of the dirty talk. Oh, yeah. Give me some
Actually,
examples.
you're putting me on the spot.
Yes, I'm putting you.
What are you wearing?
You wearing? What are you wearing? You'll be arrested. Oh. What are you wearing? You see, what are you wearing? Can you turn around? Let me see how you look. You get it? I want to
Yeah.
see the room. Get into the room. Let me see how the room is arranged.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, you just arrange the room so perfectly to entice him or her. You get it?
Yeah.
These are some of the dirty talks you can say to bring your partner closer to you, though you are distant.
Hmm. Someone is asking, what if your husband is also? You can't do dirty talk.
Hey, who told you? Who told you? It's never true. It is never true. Look, the Osofos have their poor. I don't know why some of them are refusing to release them. If you want the strong apport, is the Osofos. Someone told me that these Krife guys, when you meet them in bed, the kind of things they are able to do. You see, though they are not explicit, doesn't mean they don't know. They do it in their rooms and they will come telling you. And if they don't, they have to learn. It's a learning process, you see.
Hmm. Wow. I think there's a question here. Let me see. How do you manage a long distance relationship as a wife?
As a wife, exactly what we were saying.
Yeah.
As a wife, you see, women are said that we need this emotional attachment. If you are able to keep me in the mood, which mood am I talking of? Communication mood. You see, you give
Yeah.
me all the things I need emotionally. If you satisfy me emotionally, I'm there. Then you set my mind off thinking of you cheating. And how do you do that? You have to set rules. You see, you set rules such that wherever you are, you have to make your partner know. It helps so much. It removes what? Doubt. Sometimes you doubt your partner because certain things were not known to you. You'll be traveling to Kumasi. Let's say we are long distance. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Tema, you are in Kumasi. And you'll be traveling to Tamale. You didn't tell me. Then another person comes to tell me, I saw your husband in Tamale. Will I trust you? No. So there are certain things you have to do to build what? Trust. Very important.
Trust.
Trust.
That's updating your partner. Most people don't really update their partner, like, because if you're
Yes.
in a long distance
Yes.
relationship, like you're saying, you always need to let your partner know where you are, what you are doing, what you are
Good.
eating, what you are
Yes.
wearing, you
Good.
know how your room looks, what, whether you are asleep, whether you are up. It means you need to update your partner all the time. So immediately you don't update your partner, then it means you bring doubts, like you're saying,
Good.
right? Oh,
Well,
okay. So, but naturally, some people don't really like to be updated like all the time. Calling me, small 5 minutes, three
you see,
seconds.
there's a limit to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do, when you do and you do it overboard, it becomes what? Monotony. You get it?
Yeah.
If you do everything too much, it loses its importance. So we have to be careful how we do it too. It
So
shouldn't be always, at least the most salient ones, she has to be in the know.
okay,
Yeah.
that's it. So does long distance relationship encourage cheating?
It does. It does if you are not careful. That is why you have to be tactical in whatever you do. If you are not careful and your spouse is in need and someone else fills that vacuum that you've left, automatically cheating will come in. But if I'm satisfied and I'm prepared to live with or without our physical contact, I will not cheat for anything because I always anticipate one time at a point in time we are going to meet. You get it? Uh-huh. So if you satisfy your partner, there is no way the person will cheat. That is it.
Okay, so it means that how can you prevent cheating in long distance relationship? After asking whether it can encourage you, how do you prevent it?
You prevent it by, as I said, always filling in.
Okay.
Once a while, you call to check on your partner. You get it?
Yeah.
It should be intermittent. You call, you check on him or her, you talk about things that happened in the day during the day, you plan events together, you assure the person that no matter what, we are together in this, and one day is going to be over. You get it? If you
Yeah.
do all these things, it will encourage the person to stay on and then wait for you.
Okay. But answer me, some people can actually update you the whole day, whatever you are doing, but still they are cheating. They can
Cheat,
update, they can do all the updates,
yes,
but
say,
still they'll be cheating.
there is this adage that if you be a mensa, you get it. There are
Mhm.
some people, even if you put them at your back, they will cheat. They can be following you everywhere. You can be following them everywhere. Still, they will cheat. So it won't be 100%. You get it? It will not be
Yeah.
100%, but at least it will reduce. For cheating, I always say cheating is something that is a character based. Most of
But we'll
them,
come to that. We'll be talking. Maybe one of these days, our topic will be how to manage cheating husbands and wives, or
very
cheating
good. But please to do
relationship. I mean, yes, because it's a very big topic that I'm sure people
very
would really
yes,
want to know about it. So actually, let's go back to our long distance relationship. So
yes.
is it worth trying long distance relationship? Is it worth trying a long distance relationship?
Sweetheart, a lot of long distance relationships survive than even relationship that is physical based. When
Okay.
you are with someone always, you say abenkwan wudi na de bia kra den efono. You get it? But then in a long distance relationship, it's like there is honeymoon every other day.
Yeah.
Time the person visits, there is a fresh start. You don't get bored. You are always in the mood. You are always thinking about him. You are always anticipating. You see, so it builds the love. So those that say when you are in a long distance relationship is bound to fail, I always say it is not true. There
Okay.
are minor there are minuses, but I can say the pluses outweigh the minuses. And when I'm putting it on scale, I'll say they are all on the same scale. It depends on how you plan it, how you
Yeah.
mold it, how you are able to accept the flaws and then move ahead, move beyond the cons. You get it? And then
Yeah.
accept the pros. That is it.
Okay. So answer me, what are the signs? Let's say if you want to start a long distance relationship, what are
Yes.
the signs that you see and you go like this is a no go area to even start it? What are the signs that you, if you want to get into a long distance relationship, the things that you see that you don't even have to continue because you're just starting? Yeah.
Okay, the hotspot. Okay. You see, I said there are two types. If you've known the person, you know how the person is. And then
Yeah.
when you became distant, if there is a change, you know. Even when you were physically around, you could call like hell. Going to work and coming back alone, you could call like hell. Now that you are distant, he's not calling.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can call and call and call, no answer. And then the person will even see your missed call and then will not get back. It's a signal that there is something going on that if you don't remedy, the relationship is bound to what? Fail. Sometimes too, when you make some requests of visits, you see, in some relationships, they have a schedule. They have a schedule that maybe every 2 weeks you will visit or I will visit. But at a point in time when you want to visit, there is always an excuse. Anytime you want to visit, there is an excuse. Oh, I'll be traveling here. Oh, I'll be moving here. Let's make it next week. It's also a flashpoint to signal you that there is something going wrong. And if you are not careful, it's bound to fail.
Okay.
You have a
Someone.
routine.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there is also a routine of you sending messages at certain points in time. Myself, when I'm away, I do my best to send messages. How is it going? How are the kids? What's happening? Blah blah blah. If all those cease, it's another signal. You get it? Then also remittance. Remittance. Maybe you remit the person. There are some responsibilities that you do, but for some time those things are not forthcoming. It is a signal. If there is
Okay.
a hit, the customer should be able to tell you. You get it? That maybe I've
Yeah.
been saying this, but for this and that reason, this thing is not coming. Then you understand. But
Yeah.
whenever you make mention of remittance, you start nagging. Nagging. It means someone is filling the vacuum. Let me say it might be. I can't say for sure, but it's also a signal to tell you that something might be. So that is that.
That's a deep one because sometimes you start seeing those signs and you still think that you can give it a try. But long distance relationship is such that if you start and you see the hitches right away, you need to put a stop to
You
I mean
need
to
to
it somewhere because when
remedy
you
or
get deeper, yes, you might get brokenhearted because you saw the signs but you still entered. This is not like marriage. Because
that is the
marriage, when
mistake
you
we do.
enter, yes, we you when you enter, you are in. There's nothing you can do about it. But with relationship, when you start and you realize that hey, this thing will cause problems, you need to
It's
halt and
better you
find
wait.
out. Yeah,
You
because
see, the mistake we do is we see all these flashlights, we see all
oh
those,
yes,
but we keep
yes,
assuring ourselves that it will be okay.
yeah,
It will be okay. So we fall in the deep ditch before we realize it. It's said that an African will never believe unless they are hot, signs and wonders.
nice. So
We, we wait to see the signs and wonders, then it's too late
For
to gather
us,
and
yes. So if you, I think that is a very good point that you have made. So if you are a young lady, you are watching us, you're a young guy, you are watching us, you are seeing all these signs in the lady or the man you want to date or marry now, it's better you put a stop to it, because going forward they might be very, very messy, and you might not be able to handle it. So it's good that we are talking about it, because most young people, most single ladies and men think that, oh, I'll manage. It will change. When I get married to the person will change when I get married. But you realize that you enter the marriage and the person is the same way. You
even
saw it
worse,
and you came for it. Yes.
even worse,
So
because
some
during the campaign period, you saw things were worse, and then
yeah,
you get to it. Now the
you
person
still
has won
voted.
part. What do you want again? You see, so it will
Yeah,
get
right.
difficult.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so somebody is asking you a question. What's about the adage out of sight, out of love? Because I know people who were in a long distance relationship for 3 years, but it still didn't go anywhere.
You said the adage is what? Also, I didn't
Out
get the
of
adage.
sight, out of sight, out of love.
Oh, I would say that's just a proverb. With
Mm,
everything, you can manage and make something out of it. You get it? There are
yeah.
people, I told you that there are people living physically and they are having challenges. So I don't base my this thing on out of sight, out of love. No, you have to work. You see, love is such that you always have to go the extra mile. You always have to go the extra mile because it is a process, not an event. If it were to be an event, immediately you get married, you stop whatever you are doing, and then everything starts progressing. But you have to work towards your progressiveness. You get it? Before you
Yes.
get there, you have to make the step. And the step needs to be what? Calculated. If you don't calculate the steps well, you always get stuck. So you need to work for it. If you work for it, no matter how it is, no matter your physical disability, do you get it? I'm not talking of disability as in, but
That's an Apache. Oh, just
uh-huh,
say, oh, okay, okay.
yeah, okay. No matter that, you can still work it, and then you get the best out of love. Love is a sweet thing, no. Love is very sweet, but the sweetness in the love depends on how you are able to work and then what? Attain what you want.
So it
Yeah.
means that love there, it's all about working it out. It's
Working it
nothing
out.
like a day that you want to let it be cool. You just have to be working it out, doing
Is
things
that
that will make it more sweeter.
good? It's like
Mm,
planting the when you sow a seed, you need to water it. You get it?
okay,
Do that, it
okay.
will wither. So it needs what? Nourishment. You always need to nourish your love for it to blossom.
Yes, but you know, some people, no matter how you work it out, some of them they are not ready to work it out.
They are the menses. The menses in the home.
How do you
Ah,
handle those people? How do you handle them? Because if you are working it out, you think that you've done all you could do, you are doing your best, everything, but still the person is not working out. What do you
sweetheart,
do?
I always say that it is better to remain single. It is better to remain single. And I say it for the third time that it is better to remain single than to marry a worse person.
Hmm.
It's better to enjoy your single life than to marry a worse person. So if you see all these flashlights and you know it's not gonna work, please just quit. It's better because there's some people you can never change them. There are some people, no matter what you do, no matter your input, no matter how you want to change them, they are just static.
Hmm.
They are,
You just
they won't change.
yes.
They're unchangeable. So if you are with such people, you have to really open your eyes, you open your ears, you close your mouth, and then you study. If it's not going to work for you, please quit. It's better. It's the best. Yes.
So answer me, are you saying that those of us that are in marriages, if it's not working, we quit?
I'm not
Because
saying
some are actually in marriages that, to be frank, it is not working. A lot people are divorcing now. They've tried and tried. You see that this one there, the person has done what she or he can
everything.
do, but it's still not working. And then you
Sometimes
see
it's
that the
better to
person starts
separate.
thinking, and okay,
Sometimes not divorce per se. Sometimes the way the thing is going is better to separate and then
to give
think of how
space.
to exactly. You've made it as simple as ABC for me. You just give space. Sometimes when you separate, then you go your way. You see that when you sit and then you think, both of you think and think and think and think, and at the end of the day, you come together. I've seen couples separate. I know a woman I was counseling, they separated for 3 years. They
Hey,
are now back and they've given birth to two kids. Do you get it? But it wasn't working. It wasn't
wow.
too hectic that the lady had to pack out. And the guy
Wow.
was so the lady was packing out. She packed out, lived her life, and then after 2 years, they met in the US, they came back, and then they are on. 5 years down the lane, they've given birth to two lovely kids. And it's a testimony. So sometimes just give space.
So when you give
Leave your
space and you come back and it's not still working,
then it's up to you. That decision, the decision that you have to take. So
that's
that
a
one I'll leave
decision you
it
have
to
to make.
you have to make.
That's yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Not Auntie Ami. Auntie Ami is
No,
advising that you
no.
work it out.
Auntie
Whether
Ami is
whether
in
it's rocky or it's rough, still work it out. Or give yourself some space. But if you're
space.
in a relationship, please run away. It's not about marriage. If it's not marriage and it's a relationship, please, we
Then
urge you
it,
to run away.
because it won't work.
Yes, it won't work.
It
But
won't
if
work.
it's marriage, just give
You
yourself a
give
space and
then you
then bounce
check.
back. Maybe you can have
Good.
two lovely kids after the bouncing back.
Good.
Wow. So we've been talking to Auntie Ami, she's a marriage counselor. We've been talking about long distance relationship. We have said a lot. If you have questions, please let the question keep coming whilst we still continue with ours. So if you have questions, you want to know something that is beating your mind, but we've been talking about long distance relationship. We've been able to tell you that in a long distance relationship, you need to update each other to make it work. Communication is key. You need to update each other, what you are doing, what you are eating, have a fix a dinner together. Auntie Ami said it, so I have not tried it before, but I think that it's not a bad idea to fix a dinner
Then you be
together, even
so
though the person is not around. You still have to eat together, cheers together, and then you still move
active.
on. That's a very good one. But if you're in a relationship where it is not working, like we just said, please advise yourself. But if it's a marriage, you can give yourself some space. And maybe during the space you can be praying. 30 days fasting and prayers to seek the face of God. So
Good.
that what God tells you is what you continue to do. It's
Exactly.
been a very wonderful chat with Auntie Ami. We are still asking questions though. So please, if you have questions, okay, somebody's at sometimes just seek wisdom and direction from your faith. That is God. Okay. So sometimes you
Very
can seek wisdom and direction.
well.
It is very important. What are the early signs one could look out for knowing it's not going to work? We've talked about that. Somebody was asking me a question, but it looks like we've talked about that. So answer me, you can continue. This is a free for all. So keep vibing us, and then whilst we wait for questions to we would okay. So let me ask you a question, answer me. Long distance relationship,
Yeah.
it's a bit challenging in terms of sex. How do you handle that?
Okay.
If your partner is not around, it's been there for like 3 years, your partner is too far from you. And sex is very important. Sex is one thing that brings couples together. But this is the case, couples together, not relationship. Relationship is you're supposed to stay out of sex. So this is about
Uh,
marriage, long distance marriage. That you are not having sex for a very long time. How do you manage since you can have dinner together when each of us are apart? Can we also have sex together when the person is also we are not close?
like virtual sex, right?
Yes. Like you're saying, talk dirty, or is that not part of?
Yes, it's part of it. You see, this is, I would say, it's an individual affair.
Okay.
Sometimes it depends on your faith. Biblically, some don't believe in virtual sex, you see,
Okay.
because of their faith. That aside is also a very good thing to do when we leave the biblical aspect out of it. What I'm against is showing nudes, recording. You get it? Because in this era of globalization, such things can be very risky in the future. But of course, if you are with your partner and then you have to have, you want to have a full sex, why not? It depends on both of you. If you are comfortable with that, I don't think that there is any blunder doing that because it bonds you. You get it? You
Okay.
start
So. Mm-hmm.
dirty. You see, one plus one is two, two plus two is four, four plus four is eight. So when you start talking dirty, you know it will lead to something else. Arousal. You get it? You'll
Yeah.
be aroused. Ah. So when arousal comes in, it will get to another level. And by all means, you have to get to the level of what orgasm and then ejaculation. And how do you do that? So virtually, if you are comfortable with that, why not? But if that is not your way, then you can find other means. Other means like what?
Okay.
Mhm. Since you believe so well in your faith and you think talking dirty is not going to bring any dirty mind that will require you to do what you want to do, you have to avoid certain things. You get it?
Yeah.
You plan your own way of meeting and then satisfying yourself. If it is inter, we have the inter and then the intra. That is within and then outside. If the long distance relationship is based inside, you need to arrange and then be meeting frequently. The problem comes or arises when the person is outside of the country that you require certain things before you meet. But I said early on, based on your faith, you can engage in virtual sex and then satisfy yourself. It's
Okay.
not against any laws
All
of
right. So
Ghana.
that's your own loss. All right.
Uh-huh.
So someone wanted to add this. I want to add, in addition to Auntie Ami, most of the times we misuse the direction of the brain, and it's very bad. You can't
Good.
love someone with just the heart, only without
Mhm.
using the brain. So it
Good.
means that when you're loving, it's not just about your heart, it's about the brains. God has given
Good.
us wisdom to apply. So some of the
Exactly.
things you see that is not going well, please advise yourself.
Good.
Okay, so a lot of couple masturbate out of long distance relationship. How do you manage that, please? That's the question.
You see, masturbation in itself has a lot of disadvantages. Masturbation. We all know the disadvantages of masturbation, medically, psychologically, and stuff. But when I'm giving counseling, I take out biblical way because we are all coming from different faiths.
Yeah.
You get it? So I always tell couple if it is your wish to do it, you do it and you do it well. what am I talking about here? Are you talking about masturbating as in yourself or with your partner? I'm asking a question.
Okay, so time with. All right, so please clear. Is it masturbating with who? Yourself. That is masturbating. Is your partner? I'm sure that's what she's trying to say. Let's say your partner is not around. You're also not there, and then you masturbate together. All right, so the network is actually um still connecting, but we are talking about long distance relationship, how to work it out, how to do. You need to book. You need to book dinner together. I mean, make it happen like the person is close or the person is what you guys will be doing together. Even though the person is not around, you still can do it on the phone. Yes. And then updating is very important because it is what brings closeness and bond between the two. And we also learned that if you are dating someone, the early signs that you see that the person is actually putting up some behaviors that will not, like not picking your calls, like replying you late, not wanting you to come and visit and all that, it is a red sign of you saying that no, I need to think about it. Like Louise said, you apply the brain, not the heart alone. Yes. Auntie and me, I'm adding our guests soon. It went off. I'm adding our guests so that we can finish up. But please keep the question coming. Louise wrote something I wanted to read. Okay, so phone sex is risky, not on the physical aspects, but spiritual one. Any spirit can have affair with one of them. That's masturbation. Okay. What if you've waited for 5 years? What will you do? Okay, I'll add our guest very soon. Yes, okay, so Antami is on. Let me add her and then we can get started. Hi Antami, welcome back.
Thank you.
Alright, so someone was asking you a question. Okay, so Luis added that phone sex is risky not on the physical aspect, but spiritual one. Any spirit can have affair with one of them. That's masturbation. Okay, so
That
George
is,
went on to ask a question. What if you have waited for 5 years? What would you do? That is the
some
masturbation
people
aspect.
some people have even waited for 10 years and they are still waiting.
You didn't die.
It depends on the individual.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that wait, they can't wait for more than 2 years. They will just quit and find their level. You get
Yeah.
it? I know a lot of people that when you leave them in a long distance relationship, they can't wait for more than 3 years. Because
Okay.
one, the women will be complaining about, which is real anyway, about childbearing. You get it? Women age. Women have expiry date. And so if you are to wait for 10 years and you are around 30 years, you should know you are expiring. So some will just quit and then find their level. But it depends on the individual. If you are willing to wait and wait on end, that is your decision. You get it?
Okay.
But it's not the best.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Zoe
And
Deb
then
said that.
the masturbation aspect, you talked about that. That is why
Okay.
I said that, you see, it's your decision. Okay. It is your decision to actually know if you are going in for it or not. It is
Okay.
dependent on your faith. He was talking of the spiritual aspect. That is why I brought the faith inside.
Yeah.
I am Christian. My faith doesn't permit that. Aside the medical and the psychological aspect of it, my faith doesn't permit me to do that. So I will not do it. But it is an individual decision that the person has to take.
All right. All right. So Zoe Deb says that Is there a difference between the two? Question. Then Zoe Debs went on to say self partner isn't it still masturbation?
It is. It
It
is.
is.
But then, if you are with your partner, anything you do, your partner is physically there. You get it? So it is different from yourself masturbating to arouse yourself and then get your emotional satisfaction. If your partner is doing it for you, it is different. That is an agreement between you. You get it? But then if you are doing
Yeah,
it with your husband, or
you're
that is
right.
it.
So Efriye says that some too have affair because their wives or husbands aren't around. That's the masturbation. Or
Yes.
which one are you talking about? Some too have affair because
Mhm.
their husbands and wife is not around. Okay, so
Then this is
Louise on the phone with the partner as I at sex. It's not sex since it is mechanized. In
mhm.
sex wasn't used. There was no pen insertion, so how come it's sex?
Or
Hey, trouble.
if you get your satisfaction, you see,
Hmm.
things that we do, we have different kinds of sex.
Yeah,
We have different kinds of sex. Anything that you do to get satisfied emotionally, sexually, you get it? You've engaged in sex. You can use we have oral sex. Don't we have oral sex?
yeah,
We
we do.
do. Uh-huh. So won't we classify that as sex? Anything you do
Mm,
to the body to sexual satisfaction, we term it as
it's
sex.
sex. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
All right. So we have to be wise in all aspects of our relationship, and Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct.
Very good.
Honestly, most men cannot stay without their partner for long. Hmm. The women there
That's
they can stay, but the men,
women stay. You see, because of our
some women,
physiological, a lot of women stay. You see, with women, even our culture doesn't help us. You see, we have the will to do whatever we want to, but if there are rules, and in
yeah,
Africa, our cultural rules don't favor women when it comes to cheating. You get it? So that alone prevents a lot of women from cheating, because when you are caught cheating, you'll be stigmatized. You get it? Not that they
yeah.
won't, but because of the rules. There are a lot of things that binds women. That is why they are not cheating, not that they are not capable of. And then because of the way we
Okay.
are made, you see, I always say that when something is outside, it is exposed. But if it is inside, it is not exposed. Let's look at the
Covered.
penis. The penis is hanging outside. I am being explicit here. It's hanging outside, and so it
Oh
eats
my
people.
god.
They react to it. But let's look at our VJ. It is hidden unless we pull it before it will react. That also is another thing that helps us.
So it means that God did it for a purpose. So the way it's inside like that is for a purpose.
It's for a purpose. You get it.
So
That
Louis
is
is saying
why
that.
when a man
Mhm.
sees, he reacts. When a man sees, he reacts. When a woman is touched, before she will react. So you see the difference.
Yes, please. Madam, some of the sex are too devilish to do.
It
Um,
depends. Uh,
you know, that's like I said, like Auntie Ami said, depending on your faith. Okay,
exactly.
what you believe in is what works for you.
Yes.
So it's
When we
depending on
talk,
your faith.
we talk
If
on a universal base.
mm-hmm.
You see, universal. Then you make your choose. You get
Okay.
it? Choose among the options given, depending on your individual belief. That is it.
Okay. So, time with. Okay, she says that yes, some things masturbation is worse, so they prefer to have sex with someone else, cheat instead in the absence of their partner. But it's not the same. If you are
Oh,
preparing to have sex with
but
somebody else because you don't want to masturbate, is it all not sin? If we are quoting that as a sin, then it
someone
means
will even
they
say
are all sin.
masturbation is someone will even say masturbation is better. Sin is sin.
Yes.
So if you don't want to go
Hmm.
outside of the box, just stay intact. Because whether you
Yeah.
masturbate or you go outside to have someone else, it's still sin.
It's still sin.
Yeah.
And Louis is saying that we all have one faith. Louis, we don't have one faith though. Some believe in
It's
so
never
many
true.
things. We have
It's never
different
true.
faith. We have Christian, we have Buddhists, we have Mormons, we have Muslims, we have different faith and different teachings. So depending on what your Bible or your Quran or whatever you believe in is saying, then it can be the same faith. But the point is
No,
that, hey, what your faith tells you is what you do, if that is what makes you comfortable. Because if you want to go on with this masturbation thing and not good and not that, we might be
we
drifting from it. If you want to talk about masturbation, then I think next time we'll capture that and then we'll just go with that. But today we
deal
are
with
talking about long distance relationship. We've been talking about how to handle your long distance, and this came in a way to find whether you can still make love to your partner or still fantasize the partner when the partner is away or masturbate and all that. But she said that it's basically on your faith. So what your faith tells you, I
directs you
believe
to
that our faith are not the same. We have different faith. That I know.
we
Yes.
all look
So
up to the supreme being, but the
yes,
path to
yes,
meet the supreme being we have different forms. So
yes,
whilst I'm
yes, yes,
passing here, you are passing there, but we all hope to do what? To reach our maker, who is the supreme being. That is it.
yes, yes. So it takes time for women to be aroused like hot and iron becomes hot, but men are just
Partial.
electric pack. One touch and then it is there. We don't have one faith. Yes, we've explained that we don't have one faith, and then
Yeah,
yeah. So if there's more question and you want to add more, you are welcome. But Auntie, what are your last words? It's been very, very, very interactive. We've learned a lot because long distance relationship, it's difficult. It is very difficult.
very
It's
difficult in that.
sometimes anxiety even sets in. It's very difficult. You call your partner one two and you're not reaching and you are all alarmed. You want to who are
Wait,
you with? What you know? So
I
it's
know.
very difficult. But with what you are saying, that if you need to update each other, we need to communicate more, we need to talk more, we need to we don't need to hide things. You need to open up to your
Be
partner because
explicit as
the person is
possible.
not there. And the next person, if you don't open up and then somebody comes to tell your partner that, oh, I saw your husband here or I saw your boyfriend here, and you're like, oh, really? But you didn't tell me you are going here. It is not
Devastate.
right and it is not fair. So please, let's update. Auntie, your last words.
Yes, I always say it's not blows but brains. Not blows but brains.
Yeah,
As you rightly said, we always have to use our brains. We always have to use our brains. In long distance relationship, it's not easy.
yeah,
It's challenging, but we can make it work if we are willing to. Meaning we have
yeah,
to go the extra mile to do things that will always bond us, bring us together, as you've summarized. Communication is key in every relationship, whether physical or distance. Communication is key. When you communicate and you give the right information, the person is not going to pick information from outside, because what you are telling me, I already know. If you call to tell me my husband is in Tamale, he has already told me you'll be going to Tamale. So what's new? You
yeah,
get it? We have to communicate well. And then we have to trust, trust, trust. and then we hope for the best. Hope is very important. Always be in high spirit. Forget the odds and embrace what is good, and you get there. Not blows, but so that is what I have to say.
Actually, somebody's asking you a question, no. So I think you answer it before we wrap up. It's saying that if you're in a long distance relationship, is it good to be listening to people about what your partner is doing out there?
Then you have problems. If you want to listen to people, you will have problems because some people have made themselves CIDs in marriages, just going out to dish for information and then reporting. That is their job. So they will even create and then make your relationship a sordid one. Don't listen to people from outside. Just stay focused. Stay focused. If the right
Okay.
information is given to you, stick to that and then forget about what every other person says. That is what I would have to do. Forget about them. Sometimes they even envy you. You see, some people might be in a physical relationship and it's not working. So when they see you in a distant one working, they envy you. So they will create and then cause confusion. Stay focused. The word is stay focused.
Okay, so so with them say, don't you have investigated to at least put your mind to rest? I mean, when
It's not
some people are
necessary.
investigating.
It's not necessary. That is why you have to trust your partner. It's not necessary. You just open your heart out to hypertension and then a lot of diseases that you shouldn't invite into your system at this critical moment. Just stay
But
focused.
stay focused. But I mean, sometimes some of the things that they say has truth in it. So
Oh,
when you get
yes.
to your mind is too close to, sometimes you end up being getting into a pit that you could have listened something small to. I mean, bring your mind to it, and then you jump that pit. So
Sweetheart, that is, it's not blows but brains. Not blows but brains. There are a
brains
lot of things in marriages that you cannot use your physical strength to fight.
to
It
fight.
needs brain
It's
work.
true.
Assimilate it. You get it? Assimilate the information.
Work it.
Exactly. Then you can know the next step to take. There are some people immediately they hear of stuff, they just move. You get it? They will
Yeah.
not investigate. You see, someone, I don't know how the time is, but let me just add this. Someone saw a text message on the husband's
We
phone.
are wrapping up, please. We are
Okay.
wrapping up, viewers. So if we go off, it means that we are done. Thank you very much for joining us, and also for always being here to watch us live to be educated. Auntie, you can go on. When we go off, then it's a bye bye. So Auntie, you can go on.
Okay, so as I was saying, someone saw a text message on the husband's phone that read, "Sweetheart, I know I cannot come with you, but send my regards to her." Sweetheart, I know I cannot come with you, but send my regards to her. This thing sparked fire. Upon investigation, it was about the auntie. The auntie sent a message. They were supposed to have traveled for a funeral, but she said that the husband said he was going home to the wife before he goes. You get it? So the message
Yeah.
was to tell the wife that he sends the regards, but he cannot go with him. That was it. So
Okay.
if this had, it would have destroyed the marriage. Now, even if
Yeah.
the IGP is coming to arrest you, say, "Dear, you are under arrest." "Dear, my love and stuff" is addressed to every person. So if you take
All right.
things, you just die and die just
And
like that.
die. All
So
right.
not
Thank
more
you for
but
having
brain.
you, Auntie Ami. Thank you, all viewers, for watching us. We'll come your way tomorrow. We'll be talking about anger management. We all have sometimes get angry and we overdo things. So we want to learn how to manage our anger. That is tomorrow. Same time, 8. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., not 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So see you. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Auntie Ami, thank you.